Hi folks, so welcome to another Wmatrix screencast, and this one is all focused on the advanced user interface and will guide you through the different options and capabilities that you can perform in the advanced user interface. I'll assume that you've already watched the main introduction screencast to Wmatrix and you're familiar with the overall system. So here, in order to log into the system, click on this link here, access the tool online. This takes you into the main welcome screen. At this point you'll have been asked to put in your username and password already, so for now click on My Folders and this shows you data that you've already loaded in to the system. So you need to be in the advanced user interface option, and if you are, your screen will look like this at the top with all of these menu items here. If it doesn't look like this, then click on the switch to advanced interface option that will appear here and these options will be shown. So I'm going to, for the purposes of this screencast, show you a folder I've loaded earlier, and this is the Liberal Democrat data from the manifesto of the general election in 2005. So I'm making the assumption that you've already loaded in your data through the tag wizard and you're now viewing a folder similar to this one. So the advanced interface consists of four main sections. First of all, this top section here, which we'll go through in more detail in a moment. The second section here is titled Manual Operations and File Conversions. The third section here is called Downloads, and then finally at the bottom this fourth section on Saved Searches. So we'll come back to those in a moment. First of all, let's look at this top part here, where we've got within this part of the table three main rows. One for the word level, one for the part of speech level, and one for the semantic tag level. And then within each of those you've got a number of columns here giving you different operations that you can perform. So let's look at the word row first of all. Well, you can see here that you've got two links you can click on that would take you through to tables to show the frequency list. First of all, sorted by the frequency information and then sorted by the word alphabetically. In the second set, you've got a link that takes you through to a small form where you can search for concordances. Third, you have a section called n-grams and c-grams where we can see word level n-grams repeated patterns. Fourthly, we have a link that would take you through to a collocation view, again here at the word level, and finally you could carry out a keyness analysis for keywords compared to various reference corpora or other data sets that you've already loaded in, and there's a drop down list here that enables you to select a reference corpus for comparison. So all of those things are operations at the word level. So you can look at a word frequency list, you can go do concordances of words, you can see n-grams or collocates of words, or you can look at keywords. In the second row we can do a very similar set of operations, but this time at the part of speech level. So we can see a frequency list of parts of speech sorted by frequency, or alphabetically by part of speech tag. Underneath this we've got the option to expand these to show part of speech frequency lists, but also with words shown in each part of speech category. And here you can sort these by frequency information, by the word itself, or by part of speech tag. Second, in this row we've got the option to look at part of speech concordances, so I could search for all singular common nouns or adjectives perhaps that you have tagged using the automatic tag wizard. Finally, in this second row we've got this same kind of keyness comparison, but in this time instead of it being keywords, its key parts of speech. And again, you can choose your reference corpus from the drop-down list. Finally, in this first section, we've got the semantic information in the third row here. And again, you can look at frequency lists, so either sorted by frequency itself or by the semantic tag. And then we've got a second set of options which would allow you to see frequencies of the semantic tags, also broken down by the words within those tags. And we can see that either at frequency level, sorted by frequency, word sorted, or sorted by the semantic tag. Second, we've got another option here to take you through to concordances, but this time by semantic tag. And then in the collocation column, we can see an option here that would allow you to look at word collocates with semantic tags. Finally, in this row, we can see a keyness analysis here, but at the level of semantic tags. So you can apply the log likelihood statistic and compare frequencies of semantic tags in this text against a reference corpus. Okay, so that's the overall table here at the top. In the second section here really is about manual operations and file conversions. These are things that aren't included in the automatic tag wizard. So in this case, if you want to calculate word and semantic collocations, you can start this process off by clicking on this option here. Now this has already been done in this example, but if there was no entries in this column here up at the top, you could create them by clicking on this option here. Over here on the right hand side, we've got some options to allow you to convert the semantically tagged file to various different output formats. XML or horizontal, which is word underscore tag format, or a tabbed format, which might load into a spreadsheet. So in the third section here, titled Downloads, there are some files here which you can right click and download to your local disk. So for example, there's a word frequency list here, which you can also see above, but here this just gives you a simple plain text file that you can export and save to your local machine. For any of these files in the download section, you simply need to right click and select an option, download linked file, or in other browsers this might appear as save file as, or something similar. So you can do that for any of these options, any of these files here that the system has created: word frequency list, part of speech tag frequency list, semantic tag frequency list, and there's also the original file that you loaded in if you wish to download that again, and various other tagged forms of the file. So these all are produced automatically by the tag wizard when you load a file in. And also here at the bottom with this icon as a question mark, there's the unknown words. So these are words unknown to the semantic tagger. This may be useful to you if you're wanting to add in words that the system doesn't know into your own dictionary, and that's explained further in one of the tutorials online. Okay, so finally, at the bottom here of the advanced user interface, there's a section called Saved Searches. So this gives you a shortcut to searches that you've carried out in the past and that you've saved. So the first column here shows you the category name that you've selected, and where you don't choose a particular name, it just saves the tag or the shortcut for you automatically. So here's some that I've saved earlier. This one, for example, is to do with negative emotions, and the first shortcut here takes you through to a frequency list filtered by a particular word or tag. In this case, it's going to give me any semantic tags starting with an E and ending in a minus sign, hence showing negative emotions. Over to the right here, alongside the list shortcut, it shows you the first 5 most frequent words in your corpus within this particular tag or pattern matching. So here we've got 5 words: fear, force, threat, abuse or caring, which are in the negative emotion label. So any of the searches that you save from the frequency list view will appear here in this option down the bottom of the advanced interface. So that's the advanced interface of Wmatrix with the four sections here. The one at the top with all of the options with frequency lists, concordances, n-grams, collocations and keyness analysis. Secondly, the manual operations and file conversions. Thirdly, the download section, and finally the saved searches.